I'm the owner and CEO of Abbey Wealth, and Abbey Wealth is a grouped business. We've got two Irish companies, both headquartered out of Dublin in Fitzwilliam Square. We've been set up there since 2015. We've got an insurance mediation license and in 2019 a MiFID license as well. Both direct, so two businesses, one that does insurance mediation for clients where they need insurance, and the other one does investment advice. And both those firms are directly regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland. For me, I decided to set us up in Ireland. We had a look at quite a few different member states in the EU. Passporting was really important for us, but also we wanted to make sure that right at the heart of our offering, our clients are protected. And if you're an expat and you're an English-speaking expat, then there are very few member states in Europe where your regulator is going to be speaking English. And Ireland really is if you're an English-speaking person and you have a British background or an Irish background, having a country that's based around British law and has the same sort of protections as the UK. So we've got an ombudsman here. We've got an investor compensation scheme. So if a company you're investing in fails, there are levels of protection for that. It's a really strong framework for customers, and I think that has to be at the heart of a proposition for financial advice. It's a really excellent place to be based. It's one of Europe's major financial services centres, and that means you've got a pool of talent here that means recruiting. It's expensive to recruit people in Ireland because there's wage inflation, because it's such a good place, but you get really high quality, super high quality advisors, compliance people, risk people, everything you need to run a really top drawer financial advice business. Yeah, well, that was a bit of luck. I woke up on the 24th of June 2016, having cast my vote, and I personally was really quite shocked that our country had decided to leave the EU. But I suddenly realised that we were actually in a pretty good place as a business. I lived in the EU back then, and I knew that we got lucky with where we'd set up because we had the ability to passport post-Brexit. There's a pool of talent here. It's very straightforward recruiting high quality, qualified advisors here in Ireland. The regulatory framework is very strong. So you can look at your business and make investments for the long term into your business because you know that the regulator has given great deal of thought to how they want the market to work. And then Ireland's part of the EU, it's a member state, so we can passport from here into every other member state, and we can, we have to go through a process, but we can open branches in other member states. So we've got a branch of our insurance mediation directive company in Spain, and we're working through opening a branch of our MiFID company too. So you can set up in other countries, but be dealing with one regulator rather than having to deal with different regulators in different countries. And it's single currency. People can travel easily around, to different places, visiting clients and so on. Well, I mean, Dublin's like I don't want to paraphrase too much, but it's like being in London, except it's the world's biggest village. Everybody knows everybody else. So the networking opportunities in Dublin are wonderful, and you can pretty well walk across the city in an hour or so in any direction. So it's accessible. We've got world-class accommodation. Where we live now, we're on in the Wicklow Mount. We moved over in February of 2021, just after Brexit, and we live on the side of a mountain with amazing views, but we're 10 minutes from the seaside, and we're half an hour from the capital. I'm sounding like I'm the Irish tourist board here, but it is a lovely place. But coming back to your last question, why aren't there any other expat businesses here of any substance? And the fact is, to be here requires a significant amount of investment in your business, because it's an expensive city to work in. We've got really qualified pool of talent in the workforce. We have very, very high standards of regulation, so we need to have professional indemnity insurance. We have a number of levies that we pay into to support the regulatory framework and protect our clients, and a very, very strong reporting set of regulations as far as what we have, making sure that our regulator, the central bank, knows that we're doing a really good job, and those things. A lifestyle business, you couldn't make it work here, really. I worked for Abbey for 7 years before we did the transaction and the management buyout, and so I really knew the Abbey business very well. And the other two shareholders that I bought out had set up the company, done a very strong role in establishing Abbey, and they were ready to go on and do other things, and I wanted to take Abbey forward, and a lot of that was about a real focus on the EU, and also looking after our clients who aren't in the EU and making sure they've got the most fantastic service that we can offer them as well. I think there's some, things are very, very unpredictable at the moment, Gary, in terms of the markets, and I think you need to be a very financially strong firm with capability to move in different directions going forward, and we are just that. We have a remote advising model, so most of our clients get their advice through Teams, Zoom, and telephone, and we've been using those technologies, if you can call a telephone a technology. We've been using those technologies for 10, 15 years. So we're really good at engaging with customers when you're not sitting actually facing them. So I think our opportunity is to, keep going in that direction. I know there are lots of firms have started to move to a remote model post-COVID or during COVID because there was no option. But we're in a really good place with being an established firm that works in that way. And I think the biggest opportunity is to get more established with our customers, to become stronger financial planning businesses compared to being investment management businesses. So looking at a client's their hopes and dreams, their objectives, and helping them to structure those in a way that can be that can look after their generation, but also then cascade through and make sure that their children, their grandchildren are being looked after as well. Generational planning.